Hey, it's me, your girl Felice Renee, and I know it's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live. Yes. Or the Peace and Living Today show. So much stuff has been going on in my personal life, and these last couple of weeks have been something. It just seems like there's been a death one after another. But you know what? I am a survivor, and I want you to be a survivor too. But I do want to say thank you for your support. For those who don't know me, I am Felice Renee. I'm the host of the Peace and Living Today show, and I thank you for being supportive of this show. Is actually being sponsored by oh goodness, I'm so tired. Forgive me. It's sponsored by my book, Stained Glass Smile, You Can Be Healed. You can grab a copy on Amazon, or you can go to FeliceRenee.com. In the book, it talks about those people like that used to mask their hurt. You may be screaming on the inside for help, but you are really smiling on the outside saying I'm okay, but you're broken and you're hurt. So I want to show you, I want to help you get through that. But tonight I want to talk to you about, do you really love yourself? Do you really love yourself? And a lot of times we're not true to ourselves. We always say, oh, be true to yourself, but we're not true to ourselves. Do you know that most people that hurt people, they don't know how to love themselves? So, since they don't know how to love themselves, they're not going to know how to love you. And the only thing I can tell you tonight, I want to give you one big, one or two maybe steps, and then I'm gonna get out your way because I don't want to be too long because there's some things I have to do. For those who don't know, I am going to Nairobi, Africa in November, and that is just something that is so amazingly, and it's just really blowing my mind. I've been wanting to go for some years, but because my mindset was not in the right place, I didn't actually think, I was going to be able to go. And that's what I'm talking about, truly loving yourself. When you truly love yourself, you believe in you, regardless of what people say. All of us, at one time or another, and I'm going to scoot back just a little bit, at one time or another, had somebody in your life saying, you don't have enough education for that. You don't have the finances. Oh, you're just a dreamer. All of us have been through that. If you have, put that in the comments. I've been there. Put that in the comments. I've been there. Because one thing I do know, one thing I had to learn how to love me. And because I did not love me, I want to apologize to every person that I hurt in the years that were past, my children, my family, because I didn't know how to love me. I didn't know how to love them. I did the best I knew how, but now that I know how to love me, we have to put ourselves as a priority. Sometimes we put ourselves as the last priority. We do things for everybody else but ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with saying no. Put that in the comments. There's nothing wrong with saying no. Sometimes you have to say no to running people all over town. Sometimes you even have to say no to church people. And I love my brothers and sisters in Christ, but sometimes we run our brothers and sisters in the ground and we won't call on God for help. We'll run pastors in the ground as if they are God themselves, and they are not. Pastors are there to show us how to pray, show us how to get in that motion, and they hear from God. But sometimes we run them in the ground. But I want to tell you, it's okay to say no. Can somebody put that in the comments? It's okay to say no. Sometimes you just want to sit and just watch TV, or just lay in the bed and do nothing, or just take a nap in the afternoon. And that is okay. Because I'm telling you now, the word says I ought to love others as I love myself. If I don't love me, I'm definitely not going to love you. So you have to take that time to love yourself. And one of the things to loving yourself is getting rid of those regrets. Remove all those regrets of what you should have did, what you could have did, and how it happened. See, when that stuff play in your mind, it messes with your mind and it messes with your love towards you. See, all of us have that little voice, and it comes back and says, "Well, I wish I should have did," or "I don't know why I let them do that to me. I don't know why I let them say that to me." And either some things are going to happen. You're going to get mad all over again. You're going to get sad all over again, or you want to get even. I'm telling the truth. I have wanted to get even. God said, put that out your mind. Because see, when you start regretting, it's almost like a form of low self-esteem and self-hate. When we start regretting why we did this and why we take ourselves through a whole dragging, like, it's like you drag yourself through the mud again. Don't do it. There's nothing we can do with our past. If we hurt somebody, apologize to them, say you're sorry, and keep it moving. If they don't forgive you, it's okay. Keep moving. You can't regret that you didn't go get that job, or you can't regret that you left that person or you let that person go. Stop the regrets. You know why? Because it holds you in that past. Let's just say what happened in 1999 or 2005 or 2012. You get stuck. It's like you get stuck in a bad horror movie that keeps playing over and over, and you can't get out of it. And when you can't get out of it, nobody else can help you get out of it because it's up here. When it's up here and it stays up here, it affects your eyesight, how you see people, how you perceive them. And how we perceive people is very important. Maybe we are looking at everybody as, they're out to get me. And I know Christians like that to this day. I love them, but they always think somebody's trying to get over on them. God got our back. He got our back. The word says what? That he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide in the shadow. God got us. So I want to encourage you, love yourself enough to move those regrets out the way. Love yourself enough to say, hey, I'm done with the regrets and I'm pressing on. You've got to press on past toxic thoughts and truly love yourself. Love yourself enough to say no, and love yourself to say no more regrets. Can somebody put that in the comments? No more regrets for me. No more regrets for me. And why do I have you type it out? Why do I have you say it out? Because your motor skills, and this is just a lesson. When they teach you how to write as a kid, that's why they make you write your ABCs and your timetables. When you say that, it develops a pattern in your brain. When it develops that pattern in your brain, and I always say this when I'm teaching in my courses, repetition will either birth a cycle or break a cycle. Repetition will either birth a cycle or break a cycle. So when I say put it in the comments, that's the first step of breaking that cycle of regretting and starting a new cycle, birthing it to saying, I love me. When was the last time you honestly told yourself, I love me? I get up in the morning every day and I tell myself, I love me, in the spirit of humility, because I used to hate to look at myself in the mirror. I kept saying, you're so ugly, because that's what I heard. I kept saying I had a hump nose. My mother never called me ugly, but some of the things she called me made me feel ugly because I would act up. Parents, be careful of what you say to your kids because it affects them. But I want to thank you for coming on tonight. But I do want to say, yes, this particular show of Peace and Living today, it was sponsored by my book, Stained Glass Smile, You Can Be Healed. And you can grab your copy out on Amazon.com. And like I said, I'm happy that I'm going to Nairobi. Yes, I am. That has always been a dream. And like I said before, you never could have told me, write a book, Felice. No. Get on Facebook Live and talk to people about being strong in the Lord, holding your head up, sitting up straight, looking in that mirror and say, I love me, regardless of what somebody else says about me. I couldn't have said that. But because I got some tools and resources and a plan and a strategy, that's what I teach people. And for those who want to know what those courses are, I'll put the link down here. But that's something I never would have thought I could tell anybody because I was in so much pain that I couldn't focus on loving me. But I want to tell you on tonight, join us over in the Peace and Living Inner Circle group every Thursday at 7 p.m. We are there. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., we are over in the Peace and Living Inner Circle group. And if you missed this broadcast, because it's probably only going to be here for a few minutes, please subscribe to our Peace and Living YouTube channel. We're going to go into deeper topics, and we're going to have some guests. So if you want to be a guest on the Peace and Living show, please inbox me. If you know somebody who has a book, that's an author, we're going to do the show a lot different. We're going to put a different spin on it. Right now, I'm just doing like pre-shows, previews, but we're going to have a lot more guests on. If you want to be a guest, you know somebody has a book, want to tell their story of how they can put peace in the life of our listeners around the world, I'm more than gladly to have you fill out a form to make sure you're right fit. But like I said, love yourself. Be true to you. Be true to you. Because if you ain't true to you, you ain't going to be true to anybody else. So God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. And as always, please make comments. What stuck out to you the most on this broadcast? I need to know that. And then share it with somebody. Some people do not like talking about their business at all. And that's why sometimes we get stuck. I was that person. You were not going to get me to tell you my personal business if I didn't know you. So what we have now is, I call it my non-confrontation invitation to start the healing. And I do it in these broadcasts because I know how it feels to be stuck. I know how it feels not to have anybody, or should I say not to want anybody to know your business. You know, we were taught what stays in this house, what happens in this house stays in this house. Well, if it stays in the house, sometimes it stays in us. And it weighs us down for years and years and years. And then we can't function right in these relationships. Somebody say, whatever, ooh, your whole world is gone, because that was a trigger word. Or maybe somebody could say, stop, don't do that. And that's your trigger word. Or that don't make no sense. That's a trigger word. We talk about all of that in those courses that God has blessed me to create. So if that's you, DM me, reach out to me and say, hey, Felice, I need your help. And there's no shame in that. Somebody had to help me. And that's my mission, to help as many people get free. So God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. My name is Felice Renee. Like I said, if you're watching this live, hashtag live. If you're watching it on the replay, hashtag replay. Shout out the city that you're from. Shout out the city that you're from, or the country that you're in, watching. And like I said, as always, we are Peace of Living today, putting peace in the life of our listeners around the world. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.